Annyeonghaseyo from Korea. Welcome to Next Matcha. Today I've hit the supermarket and I've bought whatever was on sale. And in this case, at the supermarket today, I got this ground pork. 50% off, you can't go wrong with that. And I'm going to use it to cook Tteokgalbi. Tteokgalbi is, well, galbi is rib meat. And in particular, Tteokgalbi is made using beef rib meat. This isn't beef, but they didn't have the beef on sale. So I'm going for an alternate version where we use pork. Basically, it's a meatball. The idea being that Tteokgalbi is called that because it resembles rice cake. When you mix that meat up, it becomes almost a rice cake-like consistency. So let's see if we can do that with my cooking today. Let's begin. Are you interested in Korean cooking? If so, check out the rest of the channel. Every week I post a new Korean dish. I've lived in Korea for nearly half my life and I love cooking Korean food.
For our vegetables that we're going to add, you can just use regular onions, spring onion, chives, pretty much anything you want that's oniony. But do remember to cut it thin, and I like the green color, so that's sort of why I'm going for a little bit of a green onion one here. You also do not have to add any chili to it. But once again, I love the red and I find it makes it look very beautiful, especially since I'm cooking this around Christmas. So, a bit of red and green, some Christmas colors. Traditionally though, you wouldn't put a bit of pepper in Tteokgalbi. For making this, it's so easy. Once we've cut everything up, just put it all in a bowl and mix it together. But remember, the whole point of what we're doing, it should resemble tteok. Tteok is rice cake, and when you make it in a bowl, you can look at some of my other videos, you mix it together, it creates this beautiful soft dough. So as you're mixing this, once all the ingredients are ready, just keep an eye, make sure it's really mixed in well. For instance, if you're cooking sort of like a meat patty, you might find it's not quite the same. And if you've added too much onion or too many big pieces of something, it's not going to stick together very well. So really keep an eye on that, and as you make it, you'll get better at it. Me personally, I do prefer slightly bigger pieces of things in my meat patty or my Tteokgalbi, but it's up to you really. But it's not exactly the same as just cooking up a meat patty. Just remember that if you really want a traditional Tteokgalbi, you do have to do a couple of different things than just making a meat patty and cooking it. But cooking it is almost the same as a meat patty or a hamburger. Well, not so much a hamburger. You want to fry those up nicely. These are much thicker, so there's a couple of tricks you can use. The first is get it browned on the outside, flip it over, and then press it slightly down. You don't want it as sort of thick and round as just a normal meatball, so pushing it down, you're just going to get a nicer shape to it. Some people like theirs with really sort of a thin one. Me, I like it a little fatter. And then put the lid on to cook it once it's done. That's going to add a lot. So you're going to cook the meat on the inside, especially important if it's quite thick and fat, but you're also going to make sure that you're keeping the moisture in. So let's check this one here. Let's sacrifice one of these to look at them now. You can see the inside's cooked nicely. So that's perfect, it's done. You don't want undercooked pork meat patties because, you don't want undercooked pork. For serving, I just put it like this and I ate it. There's only 6. That's because my wife got in early and she was hungry. So we're missing some there.
All right, let's see how it tastes. Most important thing is it's perfectly cooked through because we're cooking with pork here, so we don't want any undercooked pieces of pork, and that's perfect. It's a little bit crunchy on the outside and soft and moist on the inside, and that's what we get by putting that lid on, and that came from my wife. So she suggested I put the lid on, keep the moisture inside it and stop it from drying out. It's a great tip. All right, I'm going to finish off these. Thanks for watching. Enjoy whatever you're cooking, and 안녕히 계세요.